Hi everyone, welcome to our channel. Please click on the subscribe and the like button below and support us please. So we're looking at gold again. Here's a 6-month chart of the gold price, and this line here has been acting as resistance for this whole time. And something really interesting happened last week. We actually broke through this line of resistance, and we were thinking that we might actually trend up from here and stay above this particular line of resistance and continue up, but that wasn't to be, and we actually broke down below this line of resistance again. So now we're back into this diverging wedge that we saw earlier. So what's going to happen now? Interesting to foresee. Many things could happen, of course. One thing that could happen is we may find that we actually trend up a bit more from here, and this line is acting as support again, or we may trend down below this and we may go back down to this support line here and then just sort of stay around this line and go up and down from here. There's so many macroeconomic factors right now supporting the gold price. It will be hard to see us dropping actually down below that support line, but obviously we don't know what's really going to happen. So we looked at these 6 producing companies, gold producing companies, a month ago on the 30th of September, and today's the 31st of October, and a few things have happened. These companies, first thing of all though, the gold price has actually gone up 1.85% since we first identified these companies a month ago, and some of these companies have dropped back a great deal. Back on the 16th of October, these companies had peaked. However, most commodities and stock markets in general have been in decline a little bit since this date, and gold has followed, even though the gold price has increased since then. So we've seen a bit of a decline in the stock price of these companies, and however though, we're still up a great deal. I mean, Anglo Gold's still up 16%, 6% for Northern Star, Newcrest, Barrick, etc. We're still up. So what's going on? Because the price of gold has gone up, why have these particular companies come down in value? Well, one thing we should look at first, so here are those 6 companies on a chart with the gold price. So the gold price, this is a yearly chart, year-to-date chart. Gold price is down 7% since January. However, look at some of these companies. Some of these companies, Regis is down 49%. It's one of the riskier ones compared to the other 5 companies here. However, its production isn't declining at all, and it's making some really great cash money right now, considering the gold price is up near $1,800 an ounce. So these companies represent still, most of them, they represent great value and are at a nice discount compared to the actual gold price currently. So what's going on? Well, there's a few things. One of the big things right now, people right now don't realize how much inflation has pushed up the prices of so many commodities to date. However, gold hasn't been one of them. We've got a couple important people here in the gold industry, and they're basically saying that because of inflation and the way that people are going to look to protect their money during the inflationary period, they see gold going to 3,000 an ounce from the 1,800 it is now, sooner rather than later. Even by the end of this year, they're predicting some huge increases in the gold price. So that's something interesting that we need to look out for. And as I said, most commodities have run up a great deal. It's been amazing. And you've seen inflation being rampant right now. It's not that things are becoming more expensive to produce. That's not why inflation is occurring. Inflation is occurring because the fiat currencies are being devalued, because the governments are printing so much money that they're devaluing everything. So the price of food, the price of gasoline, it's actually being devalued, not because it's more expensive to get it out of the ground, etc., just because the money, the fiat currency, is losing its value. So then you see prices go up, and that sort of movement, it's not so transitory really, because they're still printing money. Everything is going to become more and more expensive as the governments continue to print money. And even if we're talking about tapering coming soon, possibly in the Fed, so they're going from printing 120 billion a month to 90 billion a month, they're still printing money. It's still going to push inflation up and up and up. So here's another interesting article, and this is from Zero Hedge, an interesting sort of right-wing site. And basically what they're saying is there's going to be a point where currencies may collapse if this money printing continues, And the second thing that's really interesting, Basel III. So at the moment, banks and mints can sell gold, and they're selling paper gold. So they could sell a piece of paper saying that you own a certain amount of gold that's supposedly in their vaults. However, the banks are selling a lot more gold than are actually in their vaults. So Basel III was created from this, and it's already started in most countries. However, the biggest gold reserves are in the UK, and the UK has not adopted Basel III until January 2022. So that's about 9 weeks away. So in 9 weeks' time in England, they cannot sell gold that they physically do not have in their vaults. So this is going to be really, really supportive of the gold price. So the next week or two are going to be very interesting in terms of those charts I showed you earlier. And the next 2 months, 3 months are going to be very interesting to see what happens when Basel III actually kicks in to all the countries in the world. So right now we're seeing most commodities drop in value a little bit, but the gold price is still grossly undervalued compared to where it should be in terms of inflation and compared to the gold price in general. So we're still very bullish on gold, and we're really happy to hold this commodity during the current uncertain times.